Welcome everybody. Welcome. Thinking game number 77. Number 77. We're about to go live. Trying to do my sharing and stuff. Shout out to my boy Jay. He won't be with us today. Had to get some stuff done. So I am going to keep the train rolling for consistency's sake. So, with that being said, any comments? While I'm talking, I'll definitely pull them up on the screen. Let me know. Thinking game. Added the slides to the screen so we can see Mike and Jay. And this is the thinking game. Jay will be with us next time. He's not here today, but he will be with us next time. We are making content for regular people. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a regular working person. I'm broke just like everybody else. Everyday working people. Learn about life before you learn about success. Learn about life before you learn about success. And to people that's my age, I'm 40. What would you go back and tell the younger you, the 20-year-old, the stuff that you know now? What would you go back and tell the younger you? Because a lot of times people say, I didn't know. I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have known that. So when you figure out what you would tell the younger you, would you tell a younger person about the landmines, about the things they're about to face, about things they got to overcome, especially young men becoming men, from teenager to being a man, the things that you got to overcome and remember, and just to be stable. Because stability seems like it's easy until you got to do it. So, with that being said, also make sure you go like and subscribe and help us reach 1K. That's our goal, is to get to 1K subscribers on YouTube, 1,000 followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All of you see it down here at the bottom of the screen, the channels and stuff like that. Make sure to go like, subscribe, and follow those channels. We try to post every week. We try to do it every Thursday. That's our goal. If time allows, and we got time, that's what we try to do it every Thursday. Now we starting to do live. We trying to be more consistent with doing stream, and we just want to make stuff to give back to the youth. That's pretty much what we want to do. And eventually, we want to go back and talk to kids, teenagers in high school, and talk to these young brothers about thinking about planning life after high school, your adult life, your career, just things as a man you got to think about. Um, Sometimes you don't even know about these things until you kind of learning on the fly. But what if somebody gave you the game of being an adult when you 16, 17, things to look out for? So when you graduate, you know what direction to go in. And with that being said, our first topic is overthinking a situation based on perception or another person's opinion. As an adult, you have to be careful not to overthink. I tell myself all the time, there's a point when you just got to stop thinking, and you got to know that point within yourself. And overthinking based on another person's opinion. Something just as simple as, if I put this on, what are they going to think about me? If I do this, what are they going to think about me? And if you walk in life like that, that could drive you crazy and almost feel like you're walking on eggshells. So you have to find what works for you, and you have to be comfortable with decisions that you make, good, bad, or indifferent, and you have to learn from those decisions. To be able to grade yourself and evaluate yourself, because as humans, we're going to make mistakes, but try not to repeat the same mistakes. That's the key. Try not to repeat the same mistakes. So, mind games people play. There are people out there that play mind games with you, try to micromanage you or try to manipulate you. You got to look out for all of that when you're young. You have to not put yourself in situations where people can play mind games with you, um, whether it's manipulation or people try to, extort you or something like that, or there's all kind of ways people play mind games, or whether it's dating, people play mind games in dating. They make you think something there, but it's really not. It's called selling a dream. They make you think you're in a relationship, but you're really not. Nobody never even said it. But sometimes people, because this happened, you assume that we're in a relationship, but that's not true. Some people are, if we didn't say it, it never happened. If we didn't agree on it, it never happened. Fear of what people may think. There are some things I understand how perception works, but living in fear of it, that's a whole nother animal. And I would advise not to do that. You got to be comfortable with who you are. I mean, everybody's different. There are no two people the same, and everybody goes a different direction. Sometimes you can start off at the same, kind of like a track meet. Everybody start off at the starting line, but by the time the race ends, everybody gonna be in different positions. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta know where your position is on the track in the race. You know what I'm saying? So don't let somebody, with all the information out there now, don't just always take what people say for face value. You can go look it up and build your relationship with God. The higher power, the person that created you, can guide you as well if you build that relationship. But do not fear of what people may think, because sometimes people may not know your story. They don't know your path. They don't know your journey. And you have to make decisions for you. Just make sure they're positive, legal, and great decisions. And I think you'll be all right. And don't put yourself in positions where people can play mind games with you. You got to understand, but not perception mind, right? Growing up in the inner city or the hood, sometimes perception it just it's like a strong kind of deal until you understand that you can be your own person. But with that, if you don't match the perception, you could face ridicule or criticism. But that's part of the cost of being your own person, is that you don't identify with a group of people, you identify with yourself. And sometimes, you will get, people say, who is this dude? Or, you may get criticized or whatever. But don't let perception drive you into a place that you don't want a place where you don't want to go. Be your own man, be your own woman, but with sense, with common sense. Now you can't be common sense. You can get all the education in the world, but you don't have common sense. You can't apply what you learn. Now, moving on to our next topic is, this is something I want to talk about. I know I wish Jay was here, but this is what I want to talk about. I think I had to learn this. Universal dating levels. Let me know in the comments. Am I close? Am I off? Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments. So we have, now let's do it like this. Go back to this. Boyfriend, girlfriend. Boy meets girl. They established that they are boyfriend and girlfriend, right? This is what people call dating, I guess. This is what, let me know in the comments. I think this is called dating. Boy, girlfriend, right? Now, after that if you don't get caught in that cycle, you move to courtship. Courtship is determining if this person is, do you want to make this person your wife or your spouse, right? It could be universal either way. You're in a courtship. You're determining, do you want to take the next step? Is this person ready, or am I ready for marriage? A serious relationship. That's when you're committed. This stage, boyfriend and girlfriend, may be committed to depend on the two people involved. But the world we're living in now seems like, it's the definition changed by each person. So after you get the courtship, you determine that the spouse is this who you want to spend the rest of your life with. This is so important. Courtship. This is the time where you determine what kind of person that you're dealing with, and can I live with this person? Are we compatible? Does it make sense? You need to have the strictest filter in the courtship stage and the engagement. Some in the engagement, but really in the courtship stage, you need to find out before you get engaged, is this person I want to spend the rest of my life with? What about genetics? Are we genetically compatible when we're making kids? Do they have sickle cell? Do I have sickle cell? If we both have sickle cell, that's not going to be a good combination. You need to find that out before you get engaged, before you start getting feelings. You need to understand these things about health, about, do they want to live here? Do I want to move? Well, if you marry a person and say, well, I want to move somewhere else, I want to move to LA, or I didn't want to move to LA, that's a problem. You need to understand those things. Engagement. When a man determines that he has found a wife, he gets engaged first. He goes get a ring, he proposes, she says yes or no, and she say yes, you're now engaged to be married. You're engaged. Most people, or there are a group of people who go to marriage counseling, premarital counseling. This is where it kind of gets you prepared for marriage. Now, there's no way you can totally prepare for marriage unless you've already done it. But if it's your first time, there's no way you can totally prepare. It's like somebody telling you about a roller coaster. They tell you about the Texas Giant roller coaster. You can't really mentally prepare. They can tell you about it, how crazy it was, but until you get on the roller coaster, you won't understand how crazy it is or how things go on a roller coaster until you get on it. But marriage was meant to, once you get on a roller coaster, it ain't meant for you to get off. But that's a whole nother uh day of discussion for another day. But a lot of people get caught in the boyfriend girlfriend stage, and if you get caught in that circle so much, it's almost like they're recycling circle. Recycle, reduce, reuse. You get caught in that cycle so much, it becomes harder to get in these stages: courtship, engagement, and marriage. All right, next topic. I want to ask my viewers, what do you think? Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think. What makes a kid in the inner city see drugs, gangs, and drug dealing and either choose to do it or not to do it? Pretty much when the kid is exposed to crime, to uh, different little vices and stuff like that, and they come to a point where they choose, I want to do that or I'm not going to do that. What makes a kid determine that in their head? Most kids that grow up in the city, they come to a point where you have to make a choice. Either you're gonna do it, you're gonna go with the streets, or you're not gonna go with the streets. And if you don't go with the streets, a lot of kids, they don't want to deal with the peer pressure, so they end up choosing going with the streets because that's what everybody's around them's doing. It takes a lot of mental strength to not do something that everybody else is not doing, to not do what the 80% is doing, the sheep mentality. And we have to think about that with our youth. Like, what makes a kid see it? Even when they see somebody go to the feds, they see somebody, get killed, or they see somebody, caught up in that. What makes them think that they can be better at that when there is not a lot of success stories When you watch these documentaries and people know people in real life like that, what makes a kid say, you know what, I want to take a shot at that. I think I could be better when chances is not that high. So that's something to think about. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. What makes a kid deter, or what makes a kid say, I want to do that? I would hope that a kid now in 2023 would say, I don't want to do that. I want to, work on myself as an individual. I want to be better. Because sometimes once you get in the street, not everybody comes out clean, or not everybody makes it out. Some people go, they make their choice, and they don't make it out. They don't come back. Either they go to jail, or either they killed, or sometimes drugs just overtake you where you can't get that off your back. It's like having weights on your back that you can't get off, because it's just that real when you think about addiction and drugs and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. What makes a kid say, I don't want to do that? What makes a kid say, I don't want to do the streets? That's not my thing. I don't want to do that. Let me know in the comments. And here's my next topic is, let me know what you think about this. How hard is it to be in a place of stability as an adult? How hard is it to be in a place of stability? Just driving, going to work. Sometimes you see people on the side of the road. It seems like it's being more and more people on the side of the road. Homeless, or just in a rough place. And you just ask her, like, how did a person get to a place of instability, or get to a place of where they don't have a place to stay, or a car to get to where they got to go. They got to walk long distances. And I want to let the youth know that stability is not easy. It's going to cost you something, and you have to give up something to be stable. Sometimes everybody else may be going to and fro, but in order for you to stay stable, you have to go to work, and you have to work 40 hours a week to maintain your bills, to have food on the table. Before you get to the house and food on the table, you have to develop a strategy of stability before you even get to that, or it's going to be tough. And what I mean by stability is, think about, as an adult, the bills that you have to pay, and they don't stop once you become an adult. If you get a house, you got to pay rent or mortgage. That's not going to stop. That's a 30-year commitment. Or you got an apartment, that's a lease, 2-year maybe commitment or something like that. That's a commitment. You get a car. If you don't get a cash car, you pay a car note. That's a commitment. And even if you get a car, you have to keep it maintained. That's a commitment that you got to pay for as well. So a lot of things, you got to think about as an adult. My next question is, can you be an adult and not multitask? What makes an adult, what makes things good as an adult is multitasking, being able to work, being able to make sure that the car's taken care of, be able to make sure that the house taken care of, being able, if you're a husband, make sure the kids are taken care of, the wife and kids taken care of. You got to think about all of that sometimes at one time, or different times throughout the day. The human brain is amazing sometimes how it works, but the more you grow as an adult, the more you add to the plate. You never really take stuff away. You just add to it. And you try not to add things that's going to tax the mental resources that you're using, or tax your money that you bring home, paying stuff like that. But being able to multitask, work, then you got to pay the bills every month, or 2 times a month, however you do it. You got to be able to do all those things as an adult, and that's what makes, in my opinion, that's what makes a difference sometimes. That's what separates people sometimes, is their stability and multitasking. So my next question, I got a slide for this too, is how much stuff do you have to think about or remember as an adult? Think about that. How much stuff do you have to remember or think about as an adult? And I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and I'm gonna let me know what you think about this. I'm gonna speak from a man, and this is just some of the stuff, but feel free to leave in the comments some of the stuff that when you become a man and you single and you say, I want to live on my own, I'm gonna do my own thing. You don't realize everything costs. Nothing's free. You don't realize how much stuff that your parents was buying that you didn't have to pay for. Now you got to pay for it. It's the little knickknack stuff that get you sometimes. So you think about rent, utilities, work. You got to go to work. You got a car note, maintenance, gas for the car, insurance, food, clothes, leisure time. If you even have time for leisure time, depending on where you work at, sometimes you might not even have time for that. Soap, tissue, all kind of stuff. Um, Tiles to take a shower and bath with. That costs money. Utilities like water, gas, and just having dishes in your that costs money. Having the dishes and silverware, all that stuff costs money. You gotta have if you want to live in a house or apartment, you gotta have all that stuff. Some people say I'm gonna buy plastic plates. Okay, but guess what? Every time you use a plastic plate, you throw it away. You got to keep buying plastic plates. It's not free. You're gonna have to pay for it. So you think about that, the estimated total. I'm not gonna put that on there because it could vary, but I want you to think about that. All those that, and that's just some of it. That's not all of it. That's just some of it. You think about insurance. You got to think about what doctor can you go to, what you can't go, appointments that you got to go to. Take care of your health, wellness exams. If you're not feeling good, can you afford the copay? What if you got to get surgery? Can you afford that and still pay your rent, utilities, put gas in the car, food on the table, clothes on your back, soap, tissue, all that stuff? Can you take care of all that stuff? Now, let's say you want to get married now. Now it's everything times two. Cause it was just you and your wife. Now the utilities go up a little bit because now you got two people using family plan, insurance, insurance copay, house, apartment, maintenance, all that goes up when it's now you got two people. Because when you by yourself, you don't use a lot of things as much. But when you have two different sexes in the house, a man and a woman, they use things different than men do. Like the tissue usage may go up versus with men, it may not be. You can buy a 9 roll of tissue and it may last you a while, but with a woman, it may cut back on the tissue. You might have to buy an extra pack of tissue now. You know what I'm saying? So family plan insurance, your benefits go up. It go from a single plan to a family plan. That goes up. Insurance copay goes up based on the insurance plan. You got to get a bigger house now. House decorations. Most men, you don't find a lot of men who kind of spend money on decorations when they're single. I know I didn't. We had a pretty much bachelor pad. We was roommate. But when you live with a woman, most of the time, probably about 90% of the time, they're gonna want to decorate the house. If it's the money's available, I say that. But most of the time, they want to decorate the house. That costs money. You go to the stores at home Tuesday morning, even though they have stuff on sale, it still costs money. And let's say y'all have kids, you married with kids. Now you're looking at family plan, going up. You know what I'm saying? Now the tissue usage is going up. Bath towels, you got to get more towels to take a bath with. More soap. You buying soap for 3, 4 people now. You got to buy grown up soap and kids soap, diapers, wipes, all that costs. Food, the food usage go up. Now you used to cook for you. Now you're cooking for wife and kids. That goes up. Pots and pans, that costs money. Now your gas bill go up. Just stuff starts to increase as more people is included inside the circle that you lead. So think about that. And that's why I really stress to the youth to really plan your career development after you graduate high school. Don't take a break. If you plan and make a strategy and stick to it, you can be done with school by the time you're 25 without question. And that's taking your time. You can be done by your 25. If you don't want to go to college, there are trades out there, there are occupation, jobs, vocational. So you don't have to just work a job. You can work somewhere and get training, get trained on the job, go to a trade, and you get to work while you learn a trade, being an electrician, plumber, uh, carpenter, painter. Those jobs pay good money too. Skills are always in demand. Like, how many handymen do you know that are reliable? That if you call them over, they're gonna do the job, and by lunchtime they're gonna still be there. They're not gonna go. Talking about they'll be back tomorrow. Those kind of skills are kind of getting lost in the wind, and I think that a lot of our youth don't understand. Some of them are made. They're better. They'll probably be better at those kind of jobs, but they're not being exposed to that kind of stuff. Because it ain't a lot of handymans like it used to be when I was younger. But I think that we have to expose our youth to those things. So our next topic as we move along is, this is a good one. Retail jobs versus office jobs. And I've worked both jobs. Retail jobs versus office jobs. The physical demands for a retail job, depending on where you work, but most retail jobs, you always up on your feet. They don't really want you sitting down. They always want you doing something. If you're not being the cashier, up on your feet checking people out, you're working in the department. You're making sure the clothes are put up. You're making sure things are folded. You're always up on your feet. You gotta have some good shoes on. And it's still, after a while, the shoes, it don't even help. You're still gonna be hurting your back. Maybe hurting because you're up on that concrete all day. Office job. Some office jobs are not as physically demanding, it's more mentally demanding. But the physical demand is, I think you have to manage your health because you're sitting in the chair most of the day, and you have to make sure that your eating habits are in check. Because sometimes all you're doing is sitting in the chair and you're eating snacks. The weight will pick up so fast when you're in an office job if you're not careful. It happened to me a couple times. You're just sitting at the desk. You're not really moving around. You start working on the computer. You get in the zone, but you eating snacks at the same time. It's so easy. It can happen so fast. But when you get the skill set and you go to school, get the skill set, most of the jobs in the career field are office jobs, unless you work at like something that's physically demand, like a factory job or something like that. But there is a difference in physical demand between retail job and office jobs. Pay different based on skills. There is definitely a pay difference between retail and office jobs. I've worked both, and I can tell you, working in retail, because a lot of the jobs don't require you to have education, is more just like we just need you to come in here and keep the wheels turning. It's not really a skill set, a specialized skill kind of job. It's just keep the wheels turning. They don't pay as much for those jobs. You have to move up to like management or store manager. And even when you start working office jobs, you realize that a store manager, you can get an office job that make as much or not more than the store manager without the headache and the risk of leading people for that little amount of money. Not knocking the store manager, but I'm saying there are office jobs that you can get, and some of them are entry level, and you'll make more than a store manager will make. But I'm just telling you what I know, things I seen with my own two eyes. Not trying to knock nobody. I'm just saying that if you make the right choices and make the right strategy, you can get ahead. Especially when you're young. When you get older, all you're doing is just vetting opportunities. The next thing about working retail versus office jobs is flexible time off options. When you work most retail jobs, you don't get paid time off or PTO or a time bank or whatever where you can take off and you still get paid. Most retail jobs, if you don't come to work, you just don't get paid. And sometimes they don't even like you calling in. They want you to be reliable. Um, and the job is your priority. But we all know as adults, you have things going on and things happen, life happens. And that's why I tell my sisters, my young sisters, and my young brothers, please wait until you are married to have kids. Take it from because when you're trying to do it by yourself and you don't have you're not into a career yet, you're working jobs, it's hard to work a job where you don't have paid time off and appointments come up, things come up with kids, or your kid, one little thing could throw off every your whole work week. The kid hurt themselves, or the kid gets sick, but you don't have paid time off. So if you take off, you're not gonna get paid. But you're a single parent, so who gonna watch the kid while they sick? That's the tough part about being a single parent. This is stuff that people don't talk about all the time. Those little riddles that you can create for yourself, when you get into a situation where you're a single parent, man or woman. You don't have that help or that two-parent structure to somebody to cover the other person when things happen. It's all on you to make it happen. Not an easy thing to do. And if you can understand it, instead of saying, I want to live my life, I do what I want to do, but understand the consequences, when you uh, get into that arena, that it's not an easy game to play. That's all I'm saying. So the last one before I move on this is possibly most office jobs are a little bit more of a relaxed environment. From my experience, depends on the place or the company. More laid back. It just depends on the manager. Sometimes I know I've worked at the state, and some departments they have a manager was like, if everybody do their job, we good. This department good. Then you got some managers, they always walking around every 5 minutes, seeing people to manage them, hovering over their shoulder, just messing the morale up. Let me know in the comments what is your most important thing that you need to see for a job culture. What you think about that? What's the most important to you? Is the morale important? Is the pay important? Or is the manager important? Let me know what you think. What's important to you when it comes to job culture? And we got a comment. It says young people who take this advice to heart will be better equipped to navigate the challenges of adulthood with confidence and grace. That's what I'm trying to do. Give you the equip you with the insight to navigate. Because learning by the seat of your pants ain't fun. Um, you're gonna be more prone to make mistakes. And you gotta understand that even with you learning insight, you still sometimes slip up and stumble or make mistakes. Um, think about this. If somebody was around you and they never messed up or they never made a mistake, would that person even seem human to you? If you was around a person they never messed up, never made a mistake, you just don't know them to make all the right decisions every time. That's almost robotic, like a robot almost. But understand as a human that you're gonna run into things you don't know, but learning how to think your way through things, learning how to forgive yourself when you make a mistake, not get stuck in the mistake. Because we all do it. Everybody has done things that probably don't want to talk about publicly. Everybody has done things that we regret. We all do that. But being able to not make that repeatable is the key to life, is not making the same mistake twice. All right. This is my next topic. And it says, let me get to the slide real quick. This is our tech section. The online food delivery industry generates more than 26.5 billion. By 2024, online food delivery services project to be a $32 billion industry. I'm sorry. 60% of American consumers order takeout or delivery at least once a week. 31% of American consumers use third party food delivery services at least twice a week, according to Fundera.com. So, pretty much when I see this, and hold on, I got a comment, it says a healthy work life balance is essential. It is very essential to have work life balance, but you, like we talked about earlier, overthinking, when to stop thinking about something. Not an easy thing to do, but can be done. Sometimes you got to know when to let it go so you don't stress out because your health is important. Like if you don't have the health, you won't be able to enjoy success when you get to it because you will spend most of your success and your gain trying to restore your health. And I'm telling you, young people, health is one of those fragile things. A lot of health, if you lose it, you can't get it back. So be careful about what you put into your body. Be careful about moderation of how much you eat, especially as you get older. When I was younger, it seemed like I could go to Golden Corral and throw a party on Golden Corral. They almost had to ask me to leave. I ate so much. But now that I'm 40, I probably could barely eat half a plate, if that, and I'm done. I don't want to eat nothing else. But taking care of your health, taking care of your mental health, making sure that not overthinking stuff. Cause dude, sometimes you go to some workplaces and you can't control the culture. It's crazy. But the thing is, in order to get to success, sometimes you have to go through the jungle to get to the other side. And in the jungle, there's different animals and things, treacherous things to look for. But if you think your way through it and take your time, you can get through it. I promise you. Take it from a person who's went through many jungles. You just got to have a survival instinct. So, with this uh, text section, it says a lot of people are using delivery services, DoorDash, all these apps and stuff. And the question I have is, with that, it says that 60% of American consumers order takeout or delivery at least once a week. And the question is, how much does that take away from your operating income when you do that? Like you hear people saying, it's hard for them to save money, but on the other side, they don't want to cook, and that's why work life health balance is essential because when you get off work, you still got to have enough energy sometimes to cook because everybody can't afford to eat out, and sometimes you may have the extra money to eat out, but do you really need to eat out? What if you had the extra money and you decided to cook and you didn't have to spend the extra money? You had an extra $100, and instead of spending, $40 on going out to eat, you just cook. You just go grocery shopping and you cook for the week. You don't have to cook 5-star stuff. You just cook for at home. Um, if you was making 6 figures, would you eat out every day, even though you got the money for it, or would you cook? There's just something about like you get ahead when you get the extra money. Sometimes people get ahead and say, "Oh well, I could order. I don't want to cook. I can just order out." And you make a habit. I've done it. You make a habit of ordering out instead of developing the habit of cooking. And now you make more money. You could buy better food and you can cook better food, but instead it's more convenient to go out to eat. And they make it hard because the apps right there on your phone. Always got some kind of special going on in different restaurants. And you say, why cook when I can spend $20 or $30 to go out to eat? But the thing is, when you really sit down and think about it, when you go out to eat, let's say if you go out to eat at 4, when you get off work, you go out to eat at 4:35. You spend that $20 one time to eat, and you may be hungry again like around 8 or 9, o'clock before you go to bed or something like that. But if you cook something that could last you and you eat that at 4, you still might have something left over before you go to bed or something like that, even into the next day. And you can cook a meal with $20, $30. You could probably make a really nice meal. And for me, my folks grew up in the country in Sweet Home. Man, the women they cooked a lot. I mean, they still cook a lot, but they cooked a lot. My wife cook a lot. And we save a lot of money that way. And even if you go out to eat, be smart about where you're going. Like, does it make sense to go here? Does it make sense to go there? I know for us, um, Denny's, kids eat free on Tuesday if an adult buys something. Finding little deals like that. Cause all the thing we gotta pay for is our meal and the kids eat free. But it's on Tuesday. But what about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Like if you ate out every day, think about how much that would cost. If you ate out every day of the week, you may be end up spending like 150, $200. And that's low end. If a single person, if you got a family, if you take four, if you got you, your wife, and two kids, if you go to McDonald's and get something to eat, you probably gonna spend like $30 with inflation now. So if you did that 5 days a week, that's almost $120, $150, something like that. So you gotta be careful about those food apps and ordering out, because ordering out you'll realize they eat a lot of your budget before you realize it. And the thing that gets you, I know it get me all the times. I say I don't feel like it, and I have to make myself feel like cooking something, even if it's just boiling eggs, cutting up lettuce, making a salad, getting some cranberries and stuff. Just make a salad or bake something. Baking is an underrated cooking skill. Baking stuff, because all you gotta do is season it, put it in the oven, and make sure it don't burn or overcook. But sometimes when you go to work, you get off, you just don't feel like it, and that's what I'm trying to get to, that harness, and where I have to make myself feel like doing it, because I'm trying to save even more money. So the next slide is where we at. This is a good one. I'm gonna go outside the box right here. Learn this a lot at school. Is can you use a person barriers against them to get things done or gain victories through life situations? What do I mean by that? Let's say, like, when I'm in school, when you get higher level courses, they put you on a team. And let's say, you're on a team. I give you a couple scenarios. Let's say you're on a team with people that don't really speak English that great, and you're trying to understand them. They try to understand you, and instead of them, they kind of get frustrated and say, "Well, you know, don't worry about it. We'll just do the work." Now, if you're a perfectionist, which I'm not, you'll probably get mad and tell a teacher, "Well, we can't work together." But somebody like me who think outside the box, if y'all want to do the work, I'm totally fine with that. Let's just pass the semester. Let's get it done. I'm not tripping that you can't understand me. I hope you're not mad that I can't understand you. But if y'all want to do the work, hey, go right on ahead. Now, let's just say um a guy is in the group with mostly women. One guy to four girls in a group project. And kind of feels like, his input not really required, because they're doing a lot of the designing and stuff like that, and decision making. Um, if you smart, in my opinion, if you smart, you just let them do the work. Unless you just want the drama. Say, why y'all not letting me talk? Why y'all not letting me be in on this? But if you outside the box, He said, "Hey, let them do all the work. If they need me, they'll ask me. If they don't, I let them do all the work. But don't let somebody else barriers drag you down or bog you down. Don't allow that because it's not your barrier. So even if you work at a job, I've been there, that it seems like the diversity level ain't that high. It's more, like I say, it's more oranges than it is apples. Don't allow that to interrupt the money that you're making or interrupt your outlook on life because of somebody else's barriers. You have to find a positive in it, in everything. There is a positive in everything if you want to find it. But sometimes we're more prone to look at the negative than the positive. And if you go outside the box, you can find positives in so many ways. You'll be like, man, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, learn how to use people barriers against them. Somebody that would say they may have OCD like Monk, they're more clean than a person that's not OCD. So guess what? You defer to that person. You're more clean, you're equipped to do this than I can. So I'm gonna defer to you. And it's not a problem to defer, especially if somebody's better than you or something. Don't be so egotistical where you can't defer. So, with that being said, I am going to move on to another topic. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. This is the pick one. Bruce Willis or John Travolta. Die Hard. Some people like Grease. I like Face Off. Die Hard, Face Off. Both of these guys had great careers. Neither one of them can complain. Hey, we got somebody that said John Travolta. that my Ashley, she probably like Grease, knowing her. Oak Grove days, inside joke, them Oak Grove days. So she probably like Grease, John Travolta. But I'm probably gonna go with Bruce Willis. She said yes to Oak Grove. You could take them away from Oak Grove, but you can't take Oak Grove out of them. Ha ha, I got you. But I'm gonna go with Bruce Willis. I like John Travolta too, especially Broken Arrow. I love that movie. But Bruce Willis had some awesome roles, whether it was Die Hard, The Jackal, the one with Most Def. Uh, was it 50 something blocks, something blocks, something like that. He was a what's another one? He had a lot of movies, guys. Bruce Willis had a lot of movies. A lot of movies, man. But I'm gonna go Bruce Willis. Let me know in the comments who you go with, but I'm gonna go Bruce Willis. That's what I'm gonna roll with. But they both had awesome careers, and shout out to Bruce, man. I think he said he going through dementia, so that's a tough thing to go through. I don't think it's maybe they got some things to remedy, but remedy to have a remedy for it, but I don't know if it is yet. But man, it's a tough thing to go through. But man, Bruce and John Travolta had great careers, great movies. Look Who's Talking. I think everybody probably watched that movie. Like I said, Face Off for him and Nicolas Cage, great movie. Broken Arrow when he was the bad guy, great movie. He actually made really good bad guys. I think was he in Swordfish too? I think so. I think maybe he was in Swordfish. Yeah, but man, great. Both of them had great careers, but I'm gonna go Bruce Willis though. There's another one. Pick one: Home Depot or Lowe's. Most men, I know my age. You want to get the tools, but you got you got to have a different kind of level of money depending on both of these. Because both of them are equally probably the same. It's just different ones. Yeah, I know you're gonna be biased because she worked there at Home Depot, but it's all good. They both are almost the same, just little subtle differences. They both wear vests. One of them orange, one of them blue. Um, they almost have the same kind of products, lumber and stuff like that. It just depend on your preference and what is closer to you. Both got rental. I know for me being in Southwest, Home Depot um, is the common stores. Like, but Lowe's is in Bryant, a little bit further down. But get some tools, man. If you're a young man, that's something you want to invest in. If you get when you get a house, man, get you some tools, man. Don't uh the basic tools, screwdriver, flathead, Phillips. I would definitely recommend an air compressor in this day and time because a lot of gas stations now they don't even offer air anymore. Or it's broke. You get an air compressor and an air hose and an air chuck. You'd be surprised how many times your tire kind of deflates over the seasons and stuff, just due to just over time and stuff like that and driving. And having an air compressor to put air in before you leave the house, you can check it. There's like that maintenance. You got to remember that kind of stuff. Some cars got a sensor, but some cars don't. You just got to remember to check your tires. You got to remember that kind of stuff. But let me know what you think. Home Depot or Lowe's? We already had a user say Home Depot. I got any Lowe's in the house? So, my football guys out there, let me know what you think about this. Joy Porter or Willie McGinnis? Joy Porter or Willie McGinnis? Who you picking? Joy Porter or Willie McGinnis? For me, I'm gonna go with Willie McGinnis. I like Joy Porter too. It's actually a tough one, but I like both of those guys. But Willie McGinnis man. That dude is a solid. I mean, that dude was a solid 280, 6'4", probably. He's just a big dude. Like I'm 6'5", but I ain't nowhere near 280. Probably like 220 at best if I ate real good and full. But man, dude was a beast, and I think people don't really understand because watching the Patriots. But no Patriots, I like Bill Belichick. That's my guy. But man, Willie McGinnis, man, was a beast for the Patriots, man. Joy Porter was a beast. I like Joy Porter though, man, because he talk trash and will put you down on the ground. But Willie McGinnis, man, was a machine, man. That outside linebacker, inside. He played different ones for Bill Belichick, but man, dude, even when he stopped playing, he just saw how big dude was. He just a solid dude. Like if you saw dude in Walmart, man, dude would probably be like, man, this dude is huge. But yeah, I'm gonna pick McGinnis. In the comments who you pick. Willie McGinnis or Joy Porter for the Steelers or Willie McGinnis for the Patriots. So guys, with that being said, get ready and sign out. I want to say I appreciate you for watching, everybody who's tuned in, everybody who watched it after it's been posted. And I also want to ask you to go to our page, our YouTube page, and subscribe. Help us reach 1K. Let me go to it real quick. Let's share the screen. I want to show you the page. Yeah, go to our page. Let me see. Go to it, your channel. And help us reach. We at 151. Wow, we're moving up. At 151. Make sure to go there and subscribe. Go to the CTM page. And we have a Facebook as well. Yeah, go to our Facebook page, CTMTV, and subscribe to that as well. As you can see, we were going live now. Instagram page. Corptech Media. Go there and subscribe as well. And even at the bottom, I think we got Twitter, is X now. We also got a page there too. Make sure you go there and subscribe as well. We don't have as many followers on Twitter. I'm trying to learn how Twitter works. But yeah, follow us on Twitter as well. CTMTV LR. We got a Twitter page as well. So with that being said, I'm getting ready to sign out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the viewers, everybody who support us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We should appreciate everything. And John kicked in. He said Willie. Yeah, so we picked this. We be picking the same people, man. We just because we brothers, we grew up that way. But yeah, Willie, man, Willie was a big dude, man. That's a big dude, man. He was a solid man. And love the show tonight. It was truly inspiring. I love the show too. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the support. John, get better. Know you had to get that done today. But when you get back, we know we'll be on there going at each other again. But let us know in the comments what you think about the podcast so far. Two brothers from Southwest Little Rock trying to make content for our youth in Southwest Little Rock. How to navigate life, the adult life, when you graduate and move into adulthood. Not as easy as it sounds. It sounds easy when you say it, but in real life, it's not as easy as it sounds. Remember, you got to get to stability, and you want to be consistent as you can. Consistency and stability. You can't have one without the other. You got to have both. And with that being said, this is Mike. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Peace.